In the heart of Romania, amidst the Carpathian Mountains, a tale of blood and terror unfolds. The legacy of Vlad Dracula, infamously known as Vlad the Impaler. Now let's journey back to the 15th century, to the realm of Wallachia, where our story begins. Born in the winter of 1431, in the town of Sighisoara, a young prince named Vlad would grow to leave an indelible mark on history. His father, Vlad Dracula, was a member of the Order of the Dragon, an organization tasked with defending Christianity in Eastern Europe. From this association, young Vlad was bestowed with the name Dracula, meaning son of the dragon. Yet this name would soon take on a more sinister interpretation, forever linked with tales of horror and bloodshed. His name alone sent shivers down the spine of his enemies. But how did Vlad the Impaler earn his gruesome title? Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the life and legacy of this infamous ruler. Vlad Dracula's rise to power was no less than a blood-soaked path, a journey filled with war, betrayal, and vengeance. This tale begins in the heart of Wallachia, where a young Vlad was held captive by his enemies. His youth was marked not by the innocence of childhood, but by the harsh realities of political power play. Imprisoned and used as a pawn in the political chessboard of the time, the seeds of bitterness and revenge were sown deep within him. After years of captivity, Vlad returned to his homeland. Wallachia, however, was not the same. It was a land ravaged by strife and political instability. The throne he was destined for was embroiled in conflict, and claiming it would not be an easy task. Yet it was here that Vlad began to carve his path, a path that would lead him to infamy. His ascent to power was a tumultuous one, marked by a series of wars and betrayals. Yet Vlad was not deterred. He fought with a ferocity that was both awe-inspiring and terrifying, his strategies as sharp as the stake he would later become infamous for. His actions were ruthless, his tactics ruthless, but they were effective. With each victory, Vlad solidified his hold over Wallachia, his rule becoming as formidable as the man himself. But it wasn't just his military prowess that set him apart. Vlad was a master manipulator, a puppeteer who knew how to pull the strings of those around him. He understood the politics of fear and used it to his advantage, maintaining a precarious balance between his allies and enemies. His reign was marked by a constant tension, a sense of unease that kept his subjects in check. It was during these turbulent times that Vlad earned the name the Impaler. The stories of his brutal punishments, of enemies impaled on stakes, sent chills down the spines of those who heard them. It was a reign of terror, one that would forever associate Vlad Dracula with the image of a bloodthirsty ruler. Yet it was his reign that would etch his name into the annals of history, not for his victories, but for his methods. Vlad the Impaler's rule was a reign of terror. His methods of punishment were brutal and horrifying, even for medieval times. In the heart of Wallachia, Vlad Dracula ruled with an iron fist. His reign was marked by a level of brutality that would etch his name into the annals of history. He was not one for half measures. His methods of ruling were as ruthless as they were terrifying, and he instilled fear in the hearts of his subjects and enemies alike. One of his most notorious methods of punishment was impalement, and it was from this cruel act he earned his chilling moniker, Vlad the Impaler. But this was more than a mere nickname. It was a statement, a clear message to all who dared to oppose him. Historical accounts paint a grim picture of Vlad's reign. One such account details an instance where he impaled 20,000 men, women and children all in one day. Their bodies were displayed on long, sharp stakes, a grotesque forest of the fallen that stretched as far as the eye could see. This was not a sight for the faint-hearted. It was a stark reminder of the price of disobedience. Another account tells of a time when he invited his political enemies to a banquet, only to have them impaled right at the dining table. It said that he would then dine among the impaled, relishing in the horror he had inflicted. Vlad's reign was drenched in blood. His terror tactics were designed to break the human spirit, to keep his subjects in line, and to deter potential invaders. His lands were strewn with the bodies of his victims, their silent screams echoing across the ages. The rivers of blood that flowed through his lands were a testament to his rule. But what led him to such extreme measures? a question that continues to intrigue historians and enthusiasts till today. As we delve deeper into the life of Vlad the Impaler, we must brace ourselves for more shocking revelations. To understand Vlad the Impaler, we must delve into the psyche of the man who would become a monster. Vlad III, known as Vlad the Impaler, was not born a monster. His descent into monstrosity was a journey marred by a series of unfortunate events. He was born into a world of constant conflict. His homeland, Wallachia, was a small principality caught in the crossfire between the mighty Ottoman Empire and the Kingdom of Hungary. As a boy, Vlad and his younger brother Radu were held hostage by the Ottomans. This was not a punishment, but a diplomatic practice of the time, keeping the sons of a ruler as assurance of his loyalty. It was during this captivity that Vlad experienced a turning point. He witnessed the brutality of the Ottomans and developed a deep-seated hatred for them, a sentiment that would later fuel his reign of terror. Upon his return home, Vlad was faced with betrayal. His father and eldest brother were brutally murdered by Wallachian boyars, the very nobles who were supposed to serve them. This betrayal left a deep scar on Vlad, leading him to distrust the boyars and seek revenge against them. Vlad's rule was marked by constant war. The threat of the Ottoman Empire loomed large, and Vlad knew he had to be ruthless to maintain his power. His brutal methods, while horrifying, were a product of the tumultuous times he lived in. He used fear as a weapon, making his enemies think twice before crossing him. In his quest for power and survival, Vlad became the embodiment of terror. He ruled with an iron fist, instilling fear in the hearts of his subjects and enemies alike. His methods were barbaric, but they were born out of necessity, shaped by his experiences and influenced by the world he lived in. In a time of chaos and war, Vlad Dracula ruled with an iron fist, but at what cost? His legacy is a testament to the lengths one can go to when pushed to the edge, a chilling reminder of the monster that can lurk within a man. As the sun set on Vlad's reign, his legacy lived on, casting a long, dark shadow on history. Now let's explore what that legacy truly entails. Vlad's rule was marked by a paradox. On one hand, he was a brutal and ruthless ruler, known for his cruel and unusual punishments. His preferred method, impalement, earned him the infamous nickname Vlad the Impaler. It sent shivers down the spine of his enemies and even his subjects. On the other hand, he was also a fierce defender of his homeland, Wallachia. He fought tirelessly against the encroaching Ottoman Empire, using psychological warfare and guerrilla tactics to outmaneuver a force much larger than his own. For this, some of his people saw him as a hero, a bulwark against foreign invaders. This duality, a brutal ruler yet a patriotic leader, stirred the imagination of a certain Irish author, Bram Stoker. Stoker never visited Romania, but he was captivated by the stories of Vlad, the Wallachian prince with a taste for blood. He used Vlad as the inspiration for his novel, Dracula, a tale that has since become synonymous with vampires and the horror genre. Now, isn't it interesting how a historical figure can morph into a supernatural creature of the night in our collective consciousness? It's a testament to the power of storytelling and the enduring fascination we have with characters who are as complex and contradictory as Vlad the Impaler. The legacy of Vlad is therefore a blend of history and fiction, of terror and heroism, of mortal man and immortal monster. His story continues to captivate us, from the history books to the silver screen, making him a figure that is as enduring as he is unsettling. Vlad the Impaler, a man who became a monster, a ruler who became a legend, and a legacy that became a horror icon. Now that's a legacy that truly pierces the veil of time, wouldn't you say? Vlad Dracula's story is a chilling reminder of the depths to which humanity can sink when driven by revenge and fear. His life, wrapped in legends and dark tales, serves as a stark lesson for us all. It's a mirror to the human soul, reflecting the dangers of letting our darkest instincts take the reins. Navigating the world of power and manipulation requires us to be vigilant, yet staying true to our moral compass. As we encounter manipulators, let's not become one. Assert yourself, yes, but not with cruelty or brutality. Instead, use empathy and reason. Stand firm, but with kindness, not with an impaling stake. In the grand theater of life, we have the choice to play our roles differently, to be assertive, not aggressive, to be strong, yet compassionate, to wield power, but with wisdom and empathy. Remember, Power without compassion is the path to becoming a monster. Learn from Vlad's story. Stand against manipulation, but always choose kindness over cruelty.